Kasih menyala suaranya.
So students, how many of you attended today? Can you hear my voice? Hello? So only 3 students attended in our Zoom meeting tonight. So how many of you? 7 students now. So I will start our short meeting with say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'm so sorry because in the last afternoon I could not come into your class because I have an headache and I also had a flu. So that's why I decided to make some meeting around 40 minutes to the head. So now before we start to discuss about literature, I would like to know about your knowledge related to this course. So let's see. If anyone can answer these questions. The first questions. Sorry, the first questions. So, is anyone there now about what? Now about literature. What did you know about literature, especially English literature? Yeah. This question has 94 points. So I need you to answer this one before we enter to the core meeting tonight, because this one gonna be proof about your knowledge before we enter to the English literature discussions. Come on. Can you or no? What did you know about English literature? 94 points is waiting for you. No? So we move to the second questions now. Who is the most well known by his literary works? Of course, these, I mean the British authors. British authors. Okay. No? Okay, we stop share the screen. Right now, I would like to say this one. So this night, we only have around 40-30 minutes to discuss about introduction to literature. So the rest of its introductions will be discussed in the classroom for the next Monday. So that's why I'm gonna spend my time to explain about 1 or 7 slides, especially for the English literature, particularly for the introductions to it materials. So introduction to literature. So the questions next is, why do we read? Why do we read literature? Yeah. Why do we read literature? Can you speak? Can you answer my questions? Why do we read literature? Why do we read that? In English, please. So our meeting target tonight, the student will be able to know or will be able to understand about the term of the literature in brief, and for the second one, the purpose of its lectures, or the purpose of these lectures is enabling students to know or to gain the knowledge about English literature in Modi. So that's why I need you to answer these questions. Why do we read literature? Come on.
Pakai kamera. Bagaimana ya?
Read literature. Come on. Please.
Boleh teman-teman.
Please unmute your microphone, please. Unmute your microphone, please. So for the next one,
Gimana? Terus ya selesai dulu pegang HP itu. Oh, gitu.
did you hear my voice? Did you hear it? Did you hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we get back to our discussions now. And please mute your microphone, all of you, before I ask you to answer my questions one by one. So now we come to the term of the literature, introduction to the literature. I would like to explain about the target of our meeting tonight. All of you should be understand about the term of the English literature for the brief. And for the next one, all of you should gain knowledge about English literature for the first time of our meeting. So the rest of its slides will be discussed in our class in next Monday at 11 as our agreement in the last afternoon. So that's why is anyone can give a brief explanation about why do we read literature? Why do we read literature? Why do we read literature? Yeah, why do we read literature?
Because
Hmm?
it's help we to learn about phrase, word of novel, and then we learn about language, linguistic, culture, and literature.
Okay. Your name is Ermi.
Ermi.
Go nanti to for this meeting. Thank you. So,
You're welcome.
is anyone else? Ada yang lain? Is anyone else there? Can give a brief explanation about why do we read literature? Why don't we read newspaper? Why don't we read magazines? Why don't we read the other book of it? Why do we read? Should we read about literature? Why do we read literature? So next one. You know, literature. Some of the people says that all of the literature are fictions. You know fictions?
Makes sense.
Fictions. Does anyone know about fictions? Fictions. But it's
Fiction.
all fiction literature. Next one. Let's see these pictures. Your mouth is saying no, but your eyes are saying yes. Means lie. So let's see. literature is concerned with the content of the form, and the form, in other words, not only the story but the way it is written. This is the common definition of literature. Okay, now what we use now. Literature is concerned with the content and the form, in other words, not only the story but the way it is written. So, what is literature? Literature,
Literature is
a body of written works. The name is often applied to those imaginative works of poetry, prose, distinguished by the intention of the authors and the excellence of the executions, according to Encyclopedia Britannica or Macropedia. So what do you think about Indonesian literature? I ask you, all of you, you know about Indonesian literature?
Indonesian literature.
Yeah. Can you give us an example of the Indonesian literature?
Like novel, author. Of literature.
Yeah. What about Indonesian literature? Dongeng? What about folklore?
Cerpen.
Next one.
Indonesian literature.
Bisa nih.
Yeah.
Okay, Indonesian literature, including dongeng or folktale in English, and cerpen in Sanskrit in English, and then for the next one is novel. So all of these things, all of those things are Indonesian literature now. But in the other way of it, let's see. Literature. Collective writing proper to any language or nations. The term site of ideological conflict. It might refer to those canonical works in the centuries traditional works considered to by artistic, or it may also refer to the total sum of writings, including letters, memoirs, comics, historical writings adapted from Cambridge Encyclopedia. So let's see. So this one is the literature. Traditional work considered to be artistic, or it might also refer to the total sum of writings, including letters, memoirs, comics, historical writings. So in the term of English literature, all of those things are including of literature itself, such as letters, memoirs, comics, memoirs, comics, and historical writings. So we can add some more to the above. Next one. Or Literature, an intimate experience of an author carefully expressed in concrete images through the use of structured, imaginative style and luxurious metaphors. It is not practical or logical communication, but an aesthetic experience, according to Enrique Theory, Barcelona editor Ariel. So next one. We come to the last questions now.
What do you think? Apa yang kamu pikir tentang
Okay, one by one. I start from Mulyadin. Mulyadin. Mulyadin, what do you think about literature after seeing my explanation or after heard? So next one, Ermita, what do you think about literature after heard my explanations?
We under or quiz, and then we can
apa yang kamu pikir tentang
and we
secara sudah kamu dengar?
Okay. Next, Fatima Nur Harissa. What do you think about literature after heard my explanations?
Literature is expression from people about feeling and emotion yang dituangkan dalam novel, drama, and puisi.
Okay, next one. Fitriani Fatsay. What do you think about literature after heard my explanations in brief? No? No response? So, next one. Tuti, 202. Tuti, what do you think about literature after heard my explanations? Please mention it brief. Come on. Oh, no. So now I give you time around 5 minutes to prepare your answer about these questions. 5 minutes to prepare your answer about these questions. What do you think about literature after heard my explanations? 5 minutes from now. Please prepare your answer because I'm going to ask you one by one again to see your understanding. Do it now in 5 minutes. Hi. I'll be back.
Ada yang tugas bawit yang kembali terakhir
What do you think about literal after Cartman explanation in 5 minutes? 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. What do you think about literature here? What's in your opinion?
Move. Wait. So, did you hear my voice? You hear my voice? So, what do you think about literature after heard my explanation and watching video? Our time only for 2 minutes to answer it, so we're gonna leave in for this meeting because we have a free account and we didn't have any premium account of Zoom cloud meeting. So that's why I reminded you to answer this question as soon as possible you can. So the question is, what do you think about literature after heard my explanation and watching a video? Come on. Yep. Be careful, our time only for 2 minutes 37 seconds. Yep. Please mention your name and answer the questions. Before you answer the question, please mention your name, I think. So you can answer it and then I'll give you point around 40 to 100. Answer it. What do you think about literature after heard my brief explanation and watching video? There's no? So please pause and then we move to the next 40 minutes Zoom cloud meeting. Please pause it.
Welcome to the MCAT Multimedia Series and to MCAT's Introduction to Literature. Literature is the study of human communication. It deals, of course, with great writers, from Shakespeare to Cervantes, Jane Austen to James Joyce, and it deals with texts, Greek plays, romantic poems, Gothic novels set in gloomy castles. But it's also about more than that. Literature offers access to vibrant forms of expression and asks us to embrace new ways of thinking about the world. It shows us how to read critically, even asking why we read and write at all. Above all, it explores how we communicate ideas and why. So for a student of literature, all forms of communication are considered texts and can become the focus of critical inquiry. Rap lyrics, the language of advertisements, our favorite films, stories, poems, diaries, letters, even our constantly updated statuses on social media platforms. All are products of the urge to share ideas and